All right, so on Monday I wasn't able to focus on the LIBCM project, so I figured I'd knock out a really quick project here. I've always wanted to do my own manual IMA, and right now I'm calling this MuddersMIMA. The name will probably change, but that's what it is right now. And basically it is 3 switches that are added to the center console here right by the parking brake. So you can actually just rest your hand on the parking brake and then access these 3 guys here. The first one's a push button. Eventually, this will basically latch whatever manual mode you're in. So if you like add 30% assist and then you push the button, it will just continue doing 30% assist. Haven't activated that yet because right now I want you to have to interact with any manual control. I haven't even put this in the car yet. It's just kind of on the bench right now. So yeah, you'll have the push button to latch modes. This potentiometer does regen and assist, and then this sets your mode. And so the 0 position is the OEM position, so the signals are just passed straight through. In the 1 position, you're in manual mode, and so you can now manually control. And you can see here on the oscilloscope that we're getting this manual control that we need. And then in position 2, we're basically disabling regen. So this would be the PHEV, like you're driving around town and you have a grid charger so you can plug in at night. This disables regen. So anyway, yeah, those are the 3 modes. And you know, it's a very early, it's like a 0.1 firmware release. I went ahead and made a mock-up board. This is just done on an old Radio Shack perf board. And it would be, of course, much smaller. You'd use something like the Arduino, what is it called? Avery Nano or whatever. It's a much smaller. You'd actually just be able to tape it around the OEM wire harness. So yeah, this basically just has the 3 switches that come off here. This would probably be a ribbon cable just to make it a little bit cleaner. But right now I've just kind of taped them on here as a prototype. And again, this board would be about the size of like a matchbox. So it'd be much smaller. Anywho, this other PCB here I'm using to spoof the OEM signals, and so I've opened up, here's just the code real quick. It ended up being a few more files than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, if we have, so this guy right here is the ECM. This is just my spoofed ECM, so I can actually set modes. So right now the IMA is idle. And then over here you can see the response here. So this is the slider values. If we go in manual mode and then change, you can see the slider values change and all the modes change, etc. Notice that we still report these values now that even though I'm in the OEM mode, because we're still reading them, we're just not acting on them. This has a very basic display handler. I just basically stole it from LIBCM. So we can actually just turn those updates off. We have a help screen, so we can do $help. That'll tell us the things that we can do, so we can set our loop rate. You know, we can log data. We can basically look at the OEM signals here. Of course, you could just do that with an oscilloscope. We also have this display equals OEM here. And that'll actually tell us the OEM signals here. And these are, of course, being generated by this board. This is, you know, I just made this because I can test it on the bench easily. So I'm going to do $assist, and then I'm going to say 100%. And you can see that we're getting our 100% assist, which actually happens at 90%. And then our MA mode 1 is correct at 25%, and then our mode 2 is assist. So these are actually rebuffered, which is nice. So basically we rebuffer the signals, so when we regenerate them on the actual MuddersMIMA thing, even if there's some error there, as long as it's less than like 10%, this is just going to go ahead and correct that. And so you can see that because we're in the OEM mode here, I can come in and type in like $R100, which is going to change us to 100% regen. And so that is that there. And you can see here we're now in regen mode. We have 100% regen, 9% here or whatever. It's probably 10. I have a little bit of a guard band so that we don't throw the P codes if you're not between 10 and 90%. But anyway, this is spoofing the ECM here. So blah blah blah. It probably will work. So yeah, we need to throw this in the car, and this basically mounts directly behind the center console where the IMA wire harness is, and you just cut 5 wires. It's the power, ground, and then the 3 control signals, and so this side goes to the ECM, that side goes to the MCM. The only reason that these connectors are at this 45-degree angle is so that they would fit on a 0.1 inch perf board. Pro tip, if you have the 0.141 inch spaced connectors, then you can turn them diagonal. Anyway, that is basically it. Again, this whole thing can be about the size of a matchbox. One other thing I did, just because I was, you know, future-proofing it, I did add a beeper. So we can make that beep pretty much any frequency we want, between like 200 and, I don't know, 15,000 hertz, 2,000 and 15,000 hertz. Anyway, yeah, that is this. Right now, I don't plan on commercializing this. There are plenty of other solutions in there, which of course begs the question, like, why did Mudder make his own solution? I wanted to play around with the actual human-machine element of this and see these modes, see what I like. And the existing code I was able to find with the existing solutions was like assembly or like QBasic or whatever, and I prefer C. So I figured, what the heck, this should be a fun project. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the car now. I've probably spent a combined maybe 10 hours on this at this point. I kind of hope it just worked, because I do want to get back to LIVCM, but I was getting a lot of interruptions on Monday and you know, today as well. I've been doing a lot of other work besides LIVCM, so hopefully we can get back to that tonight and get that 0.8 version out and make the fans behave a little more power sippingly. So as always, thank you for watching. I'll probably follow up with video in the car. Again, there's nothing new here. This has all been done a decade plus ago, but I just kind of wanted to do my own take on it. Yep. Thanks for watching.